So yesterday I left work and I was like, oh, I need to go get gas. Well, drive by a gas station says like $4.49, and I was like, what in the world is going on? Like, what? That's so expensive. So then I keep going. I'm like, I'm gonna go to the other gas station, the one that's always cheaper. $4.69. I'm like, you have got to be freaking kidding me. I mean, it's just crazy. How are we all surviving right now with, electric being $500, $600, $700 for a month, and gas prices that are insane. Thank the Lord I got our gas at Sam's for under $4 today, but still ridiculous. Anybody else feel the same way?
But here's the wild part. We're still spending. We're still swiping our cards or tapping our phones with Apple Pay. It's like we just keep getting smacked around over and over, and we just take it. Seriously, what are we supposed to do? Stop driving? If you live in the US outside a major city, you have to drive to get anywhere. That's how the country was built. I was listening to an interview. I tried to find the clip for this video but couldn't. I think it was the CEO of Delta. If someone can track it down, drop the link in the comments. So, I believe it was Delta's CEO, and he was talking about raising prices partly because of oil costs. But he said people still pay. He's like, we hike prices and tickets still sell. Planes are still full. We're still busy. He said people are just biting down and swallowing it, and they keep buying. I mean, what else are you going to do? For us, we're choosing not to fly next month because of this. Prices are just too high, so we're pulling back right now and stashing money away. And I think that's kind of how recessions begin. When more and more people start to hold back on spending, the whole economy goes, whoa, wait a minute. Money's not pouring in from all sides. What's going on? But people keep spending. I don't get it. So Trump was recently asked about gas prices, and here's what he had to say.
The average price of a gallon of gas is now $4.30
Right,
in
yeah.
this country.
And you know what? And we're not going to have a nuclear weapon in the hands of Iran. The gas will go down. As soon as the war's over, it'll drop like a rock. There's so much of it. It's all over the place, sitting all over the oceans of the world. And it'll go down. But what won't happen is if Iran had a nuclear weapon and used it, then the whole world is a different place.
What about
You're
the
not going to have to
mixers?
pay
Impact
a little
on
bit more for
Republicans?
gasoline. The gasoline, the oil will go down rapidly as soon as the war is over.
I hope he's right. The trouble is, we have no clue when this war will end. Nobody does. Unless something changes between when I record this and when I post it, we're all in the dark. No news. The Strait of Hormuz is still closed. One day it's open, the next it's shut. We just don't know what's coming. So we're stuck waiting, swallowing these high prices until things turn around. And I don't know about you, but my spending keeps climbing. Month after month, or honestly, year over year is more accurate, just because everything has gotten so expensive. Groceries, electricity, gas, all of it. What a strange time to be alive. Please, take me back to the 90s.
I pulled up to the pump today and saw $4.99 a gallon. My soul left my body right there in the dang front seat. Full panic mode. I am sweating bullets like the car is already on fire. How is this legal? I am having a full heart attack just reading the sign. My hands shake so bad I almost pumped gas into my own shoe. How am I supposed to afford this madness? Rent is choking me. Groceries are robbing me. Now gas is straight up mugging me in what is left. We are out here making choices like, do I eat ramen for dinner or do I just eat the disappointment? It is so frustrating. Prices keep skyrocketing and we can't do a single thing about it. We are all just standing here getting robbed in broad daylight while smiling at the cashier like, thanks for the trauma. Every morning I wake up in panic. Like, will it be $5 today? $6 next week? My car is basically sipping my entire future through a tiny straw. We are all feeling this same chaos. Budgets exploded. Road trips were canceled. I am out here dating my couch because who can afford to drive anywhere? Plans destroyed. Joy murdered. All because the tank is a bottomless money pit with no mercy. It is exhausting. We cannot fight back. We cannot boycott. We just pay up and drive away with that dead inside stare like, yeah, take away my last $20, you greedy monster. Stay strong, gas gang. We are all panicking and broke together. Like this if your wallet is filing for bankruptcy too. Share this if you can't afford $4.99 a gallon.
$5 a gallon. Just let that sink in. I honestly find it unbelievable. That is wild. I had to fill up my car and my wife's car the other day. For mine alone, it was over $50. And I drive a little Pontiac G6. Over $50 just to top off the tank. And as he put it, that's on top of rent going up, home prices climbing, grocery bills ballooning, everything costing more. My wife and I were trying to plan a family trip next month in June, maybe fly somewhere. I've got a slower month coming in the mortgage business, so it felt like a perfect time to get away. Then we checked flight prices. Now we're staying home. If you haven't looked at airfare lately, it's crazy expensive to fly anywhere because of what fuel costs are doing. Quick heads up, stick around for the end. I watched an interview this morning on CNBC with the ExxonMobil CEO. Very interesting, and a little worrisome. Honestly, it kind of freaked me out, so stay tuned for that.
If this goes on for much longer and prices go much higher, then we'll feel that much more. And of course, I'm talking about aggregate inflation numbers. We're very well aware that people are experiencing higher gas prices all over the country now, and that hurts. Those hikes may continue to happen. And other things are going to start to reflect airline fares I mentioned and other products and services that are dependent upon petroleum and derivatives of petroleum. People are going to start to feel that. You just have to find that out empirically. Given the fact that we're, a big exporter of energy and that our economy is far less energy intensive, oil intensive than it was during the 70s, the effects on the United States are really substantially less than those of Western Europe or Asia, who are feeling much greater effects from these things.
So, I want to highlight something he just said, because it taps into a conversation that's been echoing across the entire finance world for a few years now. The idea that history always repeats itself. One clear example of that is the 1970s, when inflation spiraled out of control and prices kept climbing day after day. Let me show you a chart. You'll see a pattern. Inflation shot up. The Fed cut rates. Inflation cooled off. And then later, it roared back even stronger. This is exactly what a lot of people are worrying about right now. That inflation could return and hit levels higher than we saw a couple of years ago. If that happens, things could get really messy. When prices first spiked, everyone panicked. It was a shock, but we still managed to absorb a bit of it. Now, though, prices have stayed elevated, kept inching up, and some costs have actually increased since that first wave. The real danger is if things climb even further from here. That's when the pain truly sets in. And honestly, that's what keeps me up at night. That's why building an emergency fund is critical if you don't already have one.
God damn, what a bad time to be a hillbilly and having to haul trailers and shit with a V8 pickup truck. God damn, shit's almost $5 a gallon. We live in Ohio, okay? Part of the appeal of living here is low gas prices. I can't remember the last time it was this bad. It must have been around the recession sometime. Everybody was buying little compact gas savers, but holy shit, man. I think it was like sometime around GWAT where it got crazy. I don't know. I'm sick of living in unprecedented times. Over it.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I live in Missouri, so I'm right there with you in the Midwest. We usually have lower gas prices than the national average. That's one perk of living in a flyover state. Things are just cheaper overall. I'll take it. But here's the flip side. With a lower cost of living, when prices spike fast, it hits some people even harder. You start asking, where is the extra money supposed to come from? Think about the folks already stuck living paycheck to paycheck, barely squeezing by each month with rent and grocery costs climbing. Then you pile on gas prices. Now it's just brutal. That's how you start seeing foreclosures creep up, people falling behind on their mortgage because they can't afford to feed their families. That's the stuff I hate. I don't want that for our country. I really hope things turn around soon and we can get back to normal, everyday life. But honestly, I don't know. I'm kind of at a loss for words on this one. It feels like one of those moments where you just deal with it, you know? You take the hit. What else are you going to do? Not drive to work and then get fired, lose your income, right? Oh, sorry, here's another $100 for gas and another $100 for groceries. $100 for groceries? Sure, here's 2 bags. What the heck is going on?
For all you people that think the Iran war is going to end soon and that your gas prices are going to go back down, I hate to inform you, but we have the lowest amounts of oil and gas right now, currently, and almost in the U.S., like in U.S. history. The lowest amount of oil and gas stored in the United States, almost in the U.S.'s history. So you think that $4.18 a gallon is bad, or you think the $4.18 a gallon is gonna drop? I keep warning you people, but no one listens to me. See, Trump, he thought when we started this drill baby drill model, we're gonna drill baby drill. We don't need their oil. Why do you think he's over there in Iran fighting right now? If he had enough oil to supply our needs here in the United States, trust me, we wouldn't be over there right now. This is all about trying to get more oil for the United States. That's what it's about. It's not about Netanyahu. It's not about helping the Iranian people, making it a free country. It's about more oil. Because just like before, he thinks that he knows everything and that we got enough oil to meet our demands. We don't. Okay? And we have such a small amount, such a little amount of oil in the United States of America that the prices are going to go to the damn ceiling.
All right, let's hope this guy's wrong. The trouble is, nobody can say for sure. There's no crystal ball that tells us when the war will end, when the strait will reopen, or when oil will start flowing back into the country. Now, there's a clip I really want you to see. It's the CEO of ExxonMobil. I wanted you to hear his answer when a CNBC host asks him to predict oil prices over the next few months. What he says is pretty eye-opening. If this war doesn't stop and the strait remains closed.
Darren, just in terms of where oil prices are headed, I know this is a difficult game anytime to try and predict, now even trickier than normal, but what's your best case? What's your base case scenario for this? Where we're headed over the next 1 to 6 months?
Yeah, I think it's well, obviously very difficult to call based on what's happening there in the region and the externalities associated with those things that are happening. What I would say is, it is an unprecedented disruption of supply in the markets, and so our expectation is over time we'll see prices respond to that unprecedented disruption. Once the strait opens up, it'll take 1 to 2 months for the flow to reestablish itself, and then within that time, it's going to take transit time to get the barrels out of the Persian Gulf into the demand destinations. The customers are going to. It usually takes about a month of transit time, so there will be a time where it takes for the market to recover. Fortunately, we haven't seen the full impact of the strait being closed because of the oil that was on the water in transit when the strait closed, and as that cleared, we had the Strategic Petroleum Reserve releases. We had commercial inventory draws. So far, the world has seen a mitigated impact to that loss of supply and the prices. But with time, as the straits remain closed, those additional sources of supply will attrit, will run out of the inventory. We'll get down to a point where we're at minimum working inventories in the commercial side, and you'll be left with strategic petroleum reserves being released. And so we'll see an increasing impact on price.
What he's getting at is, the longer this strait stays blocked, the bigger the impact on us, and our oil supply shrinks faster every single day. So if it remains closed, we haven't seen the peak of gas prices yet. They could keep going up, yeah.